Writers, Hoppy and Ranger are both here today. Yes, and Hoppy is yawning. They had a busy day of running around in the woods, right, Hoppy? So we are happy to see you today, and it is our third and final day of finishing our essays about heroes and helpers. You okay, Hoppy? So I'll put them down and let's start. So writers, today is all about how do we end our essays about heroes and helpers? How do our last words stick with our readers to get them to think about a new perspective or feel appreciated? So let me share my screen with you and let's look at what other kids did as they wrote the endings to their essays, because we all know, writers, that we can learn from other writers. And so these writers in Mrs. Curtin's class were writing essays about their custodians and how hard they've worked in their buildings. So let's look at what they did and let's try some of that. So here's Erin's. Even though it might be hard working every day, I want you to know we are there with you the whole way. I also hope your families are doing well as well. Thank you, Erin. So let's stop for a minute and notice what Erin did as a writer. So she says, even though it might be hard working every day, I want you to know we are there for you. I think right there, she's kind of recognizing the work the people are doing and appreciating it. And then she's also wishing them well with their families. So now let's say if I were writing my essay about the teachers are heroes, I might say, I know how hard you're working every day because you meet with me in small groups and we have class meetings all the time. I want you to know how much I appreciate that. I hope you and your family are doing well. Do you see how I can do a little bit of what Erin did in hers, right? When I write to teachers or if I'm writing about someone in my family. Okay, let's try Brennan's. All right. This is how Brennan ended his essay. You are so amazing, and I am so thankful to have such great custodians, but you aren't just custodians. You are more than just custodians. You are heroes. Thank you so much for all you are doing for our community. So if we read that one, right, we notice that Brennan thanks them, and he says, you aren't just custodians, you are heroes. And so we could do that. Let's say we were writing to the healthcare workers, right? We could say, you are wonderful. Thank you for taking care of so many people who are sick. You aren't just healthcare workers, you are heroes. Right? Do you see how we could use what Brennan did to end our essay? And one more, writers. This one's from Leah. You are like a hero at our school. Without you, the school would have been a mess. But thanks to you, we can enjoy our learning at a clean school. We appreciate your work and always will. Okay, so now look what Leah did. She sort of did this strategy of without you. Like if you weren't doing that work, then there would have been more problems. So if I were going to write like Leah and I were going to write an essay about teachers, I might say something like, without all the time you spend teaching me, I wouldn't enjoy reading as much, I wouldn't have written as many books, and I wouldn't have learned how to solve such difficult math problems. Thank you for spending so much time teaching me. So writers, take a few minutes and study the endings that these kids did, and then reread your work and say, how do I want to end my piece? And you know, when I write an ending, I write a couple and see what feels right to you, and then send your essay out into the world. Remember, if you're writing to a delivery worker, you could put it in an envelope and put it on your door. You could post it on your window so the delivery worker might see it. If you were writing to someone in your family, you could give it right to them. If you're writing to your teacher, you could take a photo and text it or email it. And if you're writing to a healthcare worker in a nursing home, you can send it to students sending love. So happy writing, writers. I can't wait to see what you create today.